Hi, welcome to my channel where we celebrate the tasty ingredients and cook delicious food together. Today we're making mantou, a typical breakfast Chinese usually eat with porridge or soup. The recipe can also be found in the description field down below. Mantou can be made in various shapes. The round shape is traditionally originated from the northern part of China, which requires a bit of technique to make, and that's what we're going to do today. Add 1 tablespoon of brown sugar into the warm water, 1 cup of water, and then add about 2 tablespoons of dried yeast. Mix well. Let it sit for about 3 to 4 minutes until you can see tiny little bubbles in the liquid. That means the yeast is active. Then add half of the liquid ingredients into the all-purpose flour, 3 cups. Use a spatula or chopsticks in my case to mix it until a small little round dough is formed. And then add the rest of the liquid ingredients in. And keep mixing. Until the liquid and the flour mix well together. Use your hand
to knead
and make a dough. Well, this step, if you do have a
kneading machine,
of course, that's more convenient. Just put the proportion of the ingredients in and let the
kneading machine
do the trick for you. I don't have the luxury, so my hands are always handy. And now the dough is ready until it's shiny, and then we're gonna add a little bit water. This is my trick, is add a little bit water to make sure the moisture, to moisturize the dough. When it rises, it's not gonna dry. In the oven, preheat the oven to 170 Fahrenheit, and then turn off the heat and let the leftover heat is enough to rise the flour. So 3 hours later, let's take a look at the flour or the dough. It's rised, increased the volume about twice of the original one, and you see the little bubbles all inside. And this is the time we're gonna add the baking soda. 1 to 2 teaspoons. And keep
kneading.
If it's too sticky at this point, you can add a little bit dried all-purpose flour. Make sure don't add too much.
Knead.
Let it well, let go of the air inside. Push it, and then we're gonna let this sit for another hour or so. This time room temperature is good. An hour later, we're going to take out the dough and keep
kneading.
The more you
knead,
the better the mantou is going to be. It's my grandma explained to my mom explained to me. I don't really know what's the rationale behind it, but I know it works. Keep
kneading.
And then until the doughs no longer stick to your hand, that means they're ready. And we're gonna make about 1 inch diameter stick out of the dough so that we can separate them equally. For my case, I actually separate into about 8 equal portions. I'm sorry that my hands are off the camera. You can see very clearly, but basically I'm separating them into 8 equal portions. And this is the time we're going to use the muscle right under your thumb to squeeze, and use your right hand to squeeze the dough, and the left finger, the left thumb, push the dough. So left thumb push, right hand keep squeezing down, squeezing the dough down onto the board, and make sure every squeeze you push over there, it is pushing the dough very, and make a closure of it, and don't make any, there's no gap in between, and that's super important. You need a little bit practice, but at the end, when the surface is very, very smooth, that means you did a good job. It requires a little bit practice, but not that hard. It's not rocket science. Yeah, just use that little muscle that under your thumb. Keep pushing it to the board. Use your left hand to turn it, turn it, turn it, and then push it, push it, push it. And then, yeah, just make it side a lot smoother and round. And you make another one. And just keep doing it for 6 more times in my case. And then we're going to cover it and let it sit about 30 minutes this time. Then we're going to prepare the pot, add cold water in there, and then we're going to move the mantou dough and put all of them evenly on top of the steaming cloth. You don't have to wait the water to reach a boil. There are recipes to say you have to wait until that. No, you don't have to. Cold water is perfectly fine. Just lay out the mantou doughs evenly. Cover the lid, turn on the heat, bring the water to a boil, then simmer on medium heat for 20 minutes. They are ready. Round, smooth, looks so beautiful. I'm gonna add you a trick. Add a trick here is use the cold water to drip it in between the mantou. Don't be afraid the water is gonna make it, it's gonna soak it. No, it's not gonna ruin anything. Instead, it will help you make sure the bottom of the mantou doesn't stick to the cloth. It's very smooth. This is a trick that I figured out after many, many times of failure, which I wouldn't show you. The bottom literally just got stuck to the cloth if you don't add the water. So this is a great trick, believe me. Now,
we're going to let the facts speak for itself.
Look the inside, how fluffy it is. Add some butter or your favorite jam. It's so tasty. Thanks for joining me today. Subscribe please, and I'll see you next time.